morning, everybody. There's somebody new who wants to say hi. He's very, very hungry. I know you probably can't tell because he downplays it so well, don't you? Yeah. Welcome back, guys. This handsome little boy was born a couple days ago. It's the cow that I showed you last week's video, I think. One of our Jerseys, Claire, she's about 7 or 8 now, I guess. So had him, so you probably can't tell, but he's an Angus cross. He looks about as much Angus as my dog. Like, he looks like a full-blown Jersey. So he's probably not going to bring a lot of money at the auction unless somebody's really good with cows and notices that he's polled and does have a little bit of a beefy head. But body-wise, he's a Jersey through and through. Yes, I know. He was so hungry. He's starving. Poor baby. So mom is doing good. I'll keep petting him just so he won't scream for now. She cleaned. She's milking good. I think I forgot to mention to you guys that she's actually the cow that we considered getting rid of. She calved last September, like later in September, and we considered getting rid of her because half of her bag did not develop at all. That's never happened with her. We've had her through 3 or 4 lactations now, and this never happened. She's always had this big, beautiful bag, so we were really worried, and she never did develop. We thought maybe after a couple weeks of milking she'd come into it. She never did. She always had half a bag. But we milked her through that lactation, gave her a good dry period, and we were just hoping for the best. If she didn't come in this time, we were going to get rid of her. And luckily, this time, she has a nice full bag. I'll insert a picture for you guys of what she looks like now, and then what she looked like last lactation. So big difference. We were really excited about that she came in good this time and had a nice healthy baby. The older babies are being quiet right now because they're eating hay. It's so peaceful. So I'm doing all the morning things. I've got the stalls hoed out. Brent's going to get the cows. I've got the wash running, and I've swept in some hay to the cows because they didn't finish all their hay last night. So there's quite a bit left up front for them. So I swept that in just to make sure we don't have any cows doubling up in stalls that have hay when there's a few that don't have hay. So just even it out a little bit. So I'm excited to get into today. We're going to be doing some mowing. We got the mowing machine back up and running. If you missed the last video, we did get that fixed, and I'm really excited to get out in the field and try it. Brent has mowed with it a little bit, and he's going to mow with it today a little bit more. And then I get to use it finally. Hopefully nothing happens. Seems like I've got bad luck. Also, we got about an inch of rain yesterday, which is really nice. It could have rained a little bit more, but honestly, we'll take what we can get at this point. It's one of the driest July, well, it's not July anymore, but it was one of the driest Julys that we've had on record. I think Brent was saying something like 1916 was drier, but this was one of the driest Julys that we've ever had. I'm surprised last July wasn't, but I guess it wasn't. We're going to be working on getting ourselves into a drought again, if we ever got out. I'm not really sure we ever got out of a drought officially, but we were doing pretty good as far as rain goes, and then it stopped. But it seems like it might start up again. So we'll finish up here, and then we'll get into our farming day. Alright guys, it's been a few hours. I'm trying to surprise Brent. He is gone mowing right now, and he keeps talking about how it would look so much better around here if you weed whacked, but you just don't have the time. So I had a few minutes. I think he might be back though. So I was gonna surprise him, and I weed whacked. So far I've gotten this far. It's a mess, I know, but like I said, we don't have a lot of time. So I was just trying to do a little bit. I picked out some of the bigger stuff, and that's what I'm gonna keep doing all the way up through. The barn needs to be painted again, ignore that. But I got a little ways. But like I said, I think he's back. He is. He immediately went out back with the skid steer, so I still have a few minutes to try and clean up at least this half. And I have one glove. I thought I had 2, but one's better than nothing because some of these things are prickly and I don't want to really grab them. So this weed whacker has like no string. It's just like these solid, and it's electric, and it has like a solid, like 3 solid blades. Love it. hope you guys saw that. All right. One side done. This is what it looks like before. Killed the battery, but it wasn't even full when I started. And I finished pretty much 3/4 of it, so it's not bad. just finished baling, well, a couple hours ago. Thankfully finished before it got really hot. It's about 90 right now. And it's supposed to be even hotter the next couple of days, but this morning I did get more of the trimming done in front of the barn. You can see I got this whole other side done, so now the barn itself is completely done. We're gonna paint this side hopefully this fall. Like I said, this side stayed just fine. I must have done a better job scraping the side, which I think I did, because I think by the time I got to that side I was just like done with painting. Plus we bought a different kind of paint and it wasn't as good, so we're gonna go get the stuff that we used here, because I'm pretty sure the hardware store still carries it around here. So I've got a pile of burdocks that I had to hack off, because look at the stalks on these suckers. Look at that. Looks much nicer. It looks weird from the road now. Brent noticed it, by the way. He was coming down the road when he was coming back. He was bringing the Massey back from that field that he tethered, and he's like, oh my gosh, you trimmed the side of the barn. I'd only done half of it at that point, but he saw yeah, we got a couple loose shingles up there that need to be fixed because the wind has been crazy all summer. So now I just need to get, there's a couple trees here that we need to cut down. This one's pretty small, but that one over there was here last year, and so it's pretty big. Everything along this wall from like 3/4 of the way down, that's all flowers. They're these really pretty yellow flowers, so we're gonna be keeping those. So like from that big bush right there over here, and then the whole side of the pit still needs to be done. I'm excited to get this done because I think it's gonna look a lot better once we get that trimmed up and nice. But between all the things we have to do, it's hard to make sure you keep up on the whole looks of the place. It does make you feel good to see everything done. So I figured some of you guys might be curious about the field that we mowed the other day. It wasn't super good grass. It was long past being mowed because this was the field that we tried to do, and then the mowing machine broke, so it's about 2 weeks off of what it should have been, when it should have been done anyway. Probably noticed that it wasn't prime grass. It had a lot of milkweed in it, just not the greatest stuff. So we actually do this field for somebody else. It's not ours. He wants us to mow it because he wants his field kept up, and it's a little bit of feed for the cows, because this point we've actually run out of last year's feed. So this is what I was talking about. We've run out of last year's feed, and we don't want to feed this year's feed, because if you have one bad year, it can follow you for years to come, because if we still had feed, we would be fine. But we don't have anything from last year. So now we are at the point where we either have to decide to start feeding this year's, which might cut into whether or not we can make it to next year, or we have to green feed, which is what we are doing. So you've probably heard me say this a million times. We do it pretty much every year anyway, but we're starting a lot earlier this year because we ran out of feed. So that's what we're doing with that. We mowed it. Brent did tether it just to make sure that it dried out a little bit, because we didn't want it to heat up in the bales. So it's basically like dry hay right now. It's not quite as dry hay should be, but it's not going to have to sit for a long time. It's just going to sit for 9 days. We got 20 bales, I guess, 10 days. So these cows are relying on green feed and a little bit of pasture now. There's not much pasture to speak of because we haven't had much for rain. We did get a little bit, but we need a lot more. So before we can let them out into a different section that we're going to pasture off, we haven't done our second crop on that yet because it's not ready. So we want to cut that and then let it grow back a little bit, and then we're going to fence in another pasture area where they can go out, and that'll hold them for a while. But right now we have to be green feeding, so they're eating 2 a day. We got 20 off that field, so that'll last us 10 days. And to break it down for you guys a little bit, you probably think, well, that's a waste of time or a waste of money. If we had to go out and buy bales for them, yes, it's not premium stuff, but even if you had to go buy, it's relatively decent stuff. It's fresh cut. If you had to go out and buy that right now, you might be able to get it for $40 a bale. I highly doubt it. Probably be closer to $50 a bale at least, maybe even more expensive. But if you could get it for $40 a bale, what we just did is $800 a feed. Took us 2 days, and we got $800 worth of feed. So that would be, I mean, you'd have to go get it. So you're spending money going on getting your feed and trucking it back, or you have to pay somebody to deliver it. So that's an extra cost. It probably would cost you $1,200, $1,000 to get that much hay brought here, and like I said, it's only going to last them 10 days. It cost us maybe $50 in diesel fuel between all the tractors to do everything. That is not counting that the mowing machine broke in that field, because it was going to break anyway. If we count that, then we definitely didn't make any money off this deal. But it was on its way out anyway. The parts that we put in are parts that don't last that long. But honestly, since we did the work ourselves, it's pretty close to what we spent on the mowing machine parts. I just thought you guys should maybe know that. I know it wasn't like great feed. Proof of how much they enjoy it. it's just a way for us to prolong feeding this year's feed. We want to make it last as long as possible. Usually we try not to feed this year's feed until October, November, ideally. I don't think that's going to happen this year. Still have this darling lady here who's constantly trying to suck on me. Yes, see, this is why you can't go outside with other cows. So she's staying inside. We're carrying her hay right now, feeding her sticks apparently. Where'd you get that stick from? Is it yours? She said yes. No, let me suck on your hand. Not gonna happen. Hopefully this video isn't too short. I honestly didn't film a whole lot. We're haying because we've got a lot more of that to come when the second crop finally gets ready to cut. And I don't want to make you guys sick of it. I know you always say you won't be, but if I show it back to back, you might get sick of it. That being said, everything is working at the moment. The baler's working perfectly. The mowing machine is doing flawless. I moved so slow the other day cutting with that because I was so nervous to hit anything with it. Finally sped up mowing once Brent came into the pasture to tether because I had to speed up because he was catching up to me. He can do 2 rows to my 1, so he was catching up pretty fast, so I did have to go faster. But I tell you, I was cringing every time I heard the slightest noise. I did not have hearing protection on. A lot of you guys say that I should wear hearing protection. I do wear like those little plugs, but only in one ear because I like to hear the mowing machine. I want to know what's happening. So if I'm going to be deaf, I'm only going to be deaf in this ear. Anyway, it is Wednesday now. So again, I am late and need to get this video out for you guys to see tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, comment down below. Give us a thumbs up. Keep it real. Keep farming. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.